You are listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole. My co-host Ray Jeezy's out, but I ain't gonna be alone. So y'all introduce my guest a little later on. But you can also check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. If you can't tell, this is a Monday, and we typically don't air on Mondays. We still gonna have a show on Wednesday, but this is our WNBA. First off, congrats to the WNBA champions, the New York Liberty, for winning the WNBA championships. You could tell where my mind was at. I was about to say WNBA, but this is our NBA preview special show. We're gonna cover some, we're gonna go broad. We're gonna talk about things around the NBA, previewing the NBA season, but also we're gonna talk about the Washington Wizards. I gotta stay local. I know y'all see me on my LA gear. This is Magic, rep the Magic, and Magic is also part of the Commanders. So I'm living my best life, a Lakers fan, and I got Magic in the building. Come on, you can't tell me nothing. You really can't. But before we get into our NBA talk, let's get into the particulars. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. If you are on YouTube right now, you're new to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button. Also like like this video. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG at Urban Sports Scene. And like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right. And normally this is not a football show, but I gotta plug it anyway. Check out our weekly NFL picks on the Football Garbage Time website. Just go to www.footballgarbagetime.com. It's part of the Urban Sports Scene versus Football Garbage Time Pick'em Challenge. I think I'm like last place or second or last. I do some wild picks and shit, so I know y'all can. It is what it is. I'm out there. You know what I mean? I'm out there. So if y'all got like Vegas things, don't lean on me. I get kind of biased at times, so I'm just letting y'all know off the rip. Don't go with my flow because I'll be out there. I'll be out there. All right, let's get into our tradition. The pregame. Here's what we have on tap. I'll be joined by host of Locked On Wizards podcast, Brandon Scott, and the host of the Above the Rim podcast, Justin Lee. We'll talk about the Wizards' upcoming season, and we'll preview and discuss some interesting storylines in the NBA. And also, we're going to give our predictions about what we think is going to go down in the NBA. But first off, let me introduce the fellas. Let me introduce the homies, Just and B. Hold on. Here we go. I got to make sure it's right, though. I just came on a whole new layout for these cats and stuff. I got to make sure, I got to do it. There we go. Bam. It worked. Yes. Amazing. Sweet. Yeah. What's going on? Hey, what's going on, Just?
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you inviting me, Wole. It's always a good time when we talking hoops, man. Appreciate the invite, brother.
Man. Always, man. This is my homie B, man. What's up, B?
Hey, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Good, bro. Good. Hey, Just B got some good content for the Wizards, man. He knows ball thoroughly, but he has an awesome podcast called Locked On Wizards podcast. It's dope, man.
Of course.
So and just he's just hip to the basketball game, bro. Even though he'll try to troll me about my Lakers and stuff. He ain't slick. I know he'd be doing. I know he'd be doing, but it's good. It's all he's fam, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But y'all geek for the basketball season?
Yeah, man, for sure, man. I'm excited about it for sure. I feel like it hasn't been enough promotion right now as it should be. I feel like it's kind of late. Maybe it's because it's October and it's the sports heaven is in October every sport. So maybe that's why they're waiting for, I guess, today and tomorrow to do the extra promotion. But it does seem like it's a little bit less going into the season, unless I'm bugging. Y'all let me know.
No, do you agree with him, B? Because I kind of agree with him. Do you agree?
Hey, I agree 100%, man. But looking at the Wizards, I'm looking at small victories, man. So you know what
I mean? Yeah, man. Hey, I like how you. So you're right. You know what? It's baby steps.
Oh yeah,
it's baby steps. That's how I look at it.
Sometimes in DC, brothers.
Yeah, but let's start with the Wizards. So I'm gonna start with you, B. So the Wizards start the season against the Celtics on Thursday. Which that's a tough Thursday game off the rip. Yeah. Which player I'm gonna start with? Which player for you, B, will you be checking for? I'm not gonna say you think's gonna win, but who you gonna be checking for?
Overall, just with the Wiz.
Oh, for the Wiz.
Oh, definitely Jordan Poole, man. He's a starting point guard. I want to see if he can add those other elements of being a point guard. We know he's a scoring minded combo guard, but look, if he wants to be part of the future, he's got to show that he can fill out the rest of being a point guard. That being more of a distributor. You see the vision. There's a couple games this preseason, man. You look at assist numbers and you look at most games, man. There's about 3 or 4 passes where people are dropping them. He's hitting. He's throwing those dimes, man. So we know he can score. And we know he could use his scoring ability to collapse defense and utilize guys on the outside. But that's the biggest thing, is use his game to make other people better. We got progression for Bilal, man. We got to see Alex Sarr progression. Kyle Kuzma's that number one option. We're going to get on him in a minute. But, that's another thing. With him and Kyle Kuzma, we need to see more efficiency.
So just what is your thoughts about Jordan Poole and being his second year in DC? What do you think he can do this year?
I mean, Jordan Poole is going to do what we all know he can do, which is score the ball. I mean, it depends on what they're asking of Jordan Poole. Are they asking him to be a scorer, a complementary piece, or are they asking him to be a leader on the team? And I think that's where the trouble may lie. If you're asking a guy like Jordan Poole to be the leader of your team, I don't know how effective Jordan Poole will be in this season. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for him as a guy to just get buckets, or possibly as a guy to increase his trade value for later on, that could also be a very interesting possibility. But what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the Wizards team, when I look at the team, I'm saying, what is the direction? What is the direction? But like, really, truly, what is your direction? Because if you're going into a season with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole as your 2 best players, how good are you expecting to be? Or clearly you're expecting not to be good, right? But then again, usually when teams are doing that, what are your development pieces? Obviously, we got Alex Sarr, and we're going to see what he looks like. Now, we're going to see if he can really contend with the best of the best in the NBA. But I actually like him. I think he got some solid skills, but he might be a little bit too raw right now to like really contribute. But he deserves a shot. And also, Valanciunas they picked up. Like, what's going on with the direction of the roster is like how I'm looking at the Wizards.
And B, I'm going to get to that because you follow in terms of Wizards thoroughly, and you are so detailed with the talent, the young guys and you talk about them a lot on your podcast. Can you talk about some of the young guys that folks don't know about that you feel may have an impact for this Wizards in this upcoming season?
Oh, easy. Bub Carrington and Keyshawn George. I mean, they are value picks, man. If you look at the fact that we got Keyshawn George with a 24th pick in the later stage of the first round, and the fact that the Denny trade, is kind of half and half. Either you hate it or love it. But if you look at the package you got from him, you're able to get 2 first-round picks. One ended up being Bub Carrington. You got a mentor in Malcolm Brogdon, and you got 2 second-round picks. So you got value. So I think that the biggest thing to look at this season is those 2 young players in the front office. Because really, this young cast, man, all 5 draft picks underneath Will Dawkins, there's not a lot of expectations. These guys, they can go out there and play their game. They can just play. A lot of the pressure's on Brian Keith because he's known as that developmental head coach, and a lot of the pressure's on the front office finding these gems not only in the later stages of the first round but in the second round. Because last year we picked up Tristan Vucevic, where that's the first time we had a second round pick that wasn't on the milk carton. Like he actually showed up and played. Before then, I don't know where half these guys are at. So they're finding value. And you have to find value, man, because, it's not guaranteed you're going to get that number 1 pick. We saw last year Atlanta got the pick, and they had no business getting the pick. So a lot of people are, Cooper Flag or bust, which, look, you get that number 1, you absolutely go after Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey. Easy. But you have to look at other talent they have. So looking at young players, Keyshawn George is a baller. He's a sniper, and I'm a big proponent of re-signing Corey Kispert, even though there's a whole other subject. But, they work well as a tandem on the second unit, man. And Bub Carrington's a dog. I mean, once he figures it out offensively, because the offense is there, it's just consistency. And people forget that all these guys are going to have growing pains. There's going to be an up and down season. Alex Sarr, like Justin said, he's very raw, but you see the potential. And that's, and that's why I look at the pick is kind of a really good pick for the Wizards because we had nothing but time to develop this talent. So
I like Bud Carrington. I do think he can eventually, I said this, I think he can eventually replace Jordan Poole. You know what I mean? I think he has that type of talent. I think he could. It's just go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask a question for both.
No, ask a question. Yeah, go for it, bro.
Which one of these guys last the season, or do both last the season? Kuzma or Jordan Poole?
I'm gonna let you. I'll let you start with. I'll let you start with that, B, before I go on it.
I think that Jordan Poole he's gonna be here in the next year. Now, Kyle Kuzma, there's a lot of question marks, man, because last year the asking price was 2 first-round picks. Now, if you look at the Denny trade, on one hand, you're like, he's 23 years old. We drafted him, we developed him, we signed him to an extension, and he finally broke out offensively. Why would you move him? But I think the market is telling us what the true value is. He had the most value. And you look at Kyle Kuzma, I don't see the 2 first-round picks, man. I just don't see that. And I think more and more general manager Will Dawkins is starting to see that, is that, Kyle Kuzma, you could kind of check him in to be that 20 points a night scorer. But what other elements of his game can he provide to really help with his rebuild? Because look, priority number 1, number 2, number 3 is development of young talent. That's it. Yep. You have to develop these young guys, man. And you look at the next couple of drafts, it's very important, because once you hit 2026 draft, after that, there's expectations. All right, what's this young core going to do at that point? Because you see Calypso Bilal. Alex Sarr very raw, just like Bilal, they're very raw, but you see the potential, especially defensively. Lord have mercy. And they're fitting what the Wizards are trying to do, which is build the defensive identity. This team is notoriously bad for being a bad defensive team. So now, if you look at Brian Keefe, development is the name of the game with him, but also defense. So if you look at a lot of these guys, there's 2 things you really look at with this roster. Number 1, versatility. Most of these guys can guard and play multiple positions. And then the second thing is defense. Alex Sarr, the first part of this game you're going to see is defense, the rim protection. Bilal, the first part of this game you saw was the defense. Keyshawn George, Bob Carrington, you see the effort and the energy they put on the defensive end, man. So defense is going to be the name of the game. And then if you look at the NBA overall, look, the NBA is tired of people scoring 150 points a night. If you look at the officiating, if you look at the officiating in the playoffs, they're cutting down on the scoring. And if you look at the players, that, Rudy Gobert and what's his name? Went to Memphis. I'm having a brain fart.
Not Jaren Jackson.
Marcus Smart.
Oh, Marcus Smart. Yeah.
If you look at it, man, defense is prioritized now, because people, if you look at what the package was for Rudy Gobert, I mean, people are looking at, he don't score, but look, defense is still premium. So, your versatility in defense is where the NBA is going. So,
yeah. So, who I think is gonna get traded? I do think it probably would be Kuz before Poole. That's not saying a lot though when I say this.
Because of value, or just because?
I think because I feel like if you were asking which player teams feel they can win with more, like as a player in a certain role, I think it'd be Kuzma. Because I think that Kuzma is more mature at this particular point and we're in his game than what Poole is right now. You know what I mean? Like, Kuzma loves DC because he gets to jack and shoot whatever. Same thing with Poole. They both are in the same little situation. Like they can kind of, it's like they can, they can embrace it, right? Like they are the faces of this franchise at the moment. I feel like Bilal is a guy that will be one of the faces of this franchise, but that's what they are. So in terms of you try to tell me which game do I feel like fits into a role on a contender or a team that's trying to make a playoff push, it'd be Kuz, because I think we've seen it in LA, where even the bubble team where he played a role and he played that role. He wasn't going there jacking shots. Jordan Poole was always in a freestyle offense. If you look at everybody's not the Warriors, and you got way more freedom here in Washington, like because you can do whatever. But you had freedom in Golden State, but you're not gonna get that in every situation. So to me, if you're telling me like, Dallas Mavericks, if they need a player, I'm gonna choose Kuz because he can at least play. He'll play defense, offense, rebound. And he plays, and he'll be you can play. Hey, I just need you to be a spot up shooter. Then be a spot up shooter. And then eventually, every once in a while, you'll slash to the bucket and give me a bucket. So and also his pack ain't really like that ISO. He don't got that real true ISO pack. You know what I mean? So if you're trading him into a contender, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna look for a ball. It's gonna be a ball. It's gonna be somebody who handles the ball a lot. A la maybe if you want to trade him to Memphis, you got Ja. You got if you want to go to even I'm throwing it out there, Sacramento. You got Fox. Most of these players, these teams that he would go to would already have a dominant guard who has the ball. So all they need to do is in the corner or whatever to set up. So I just feel like he would fit more in terms of a trade than Poole, because Poole is a guy who needs the ball in his hand. And you can't trust him with the ball in his hands. I don't care where you are at this point. He's trying, but I've seen enough to know where when he's feeling himself, he's feeling himself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And teams that trade in the deadline are looking for, players who can help them get to the next level. And to me, the person who's close to it would be Kuz, but it's not going to be for 2 first rounders. Definitely not. I wouldn't even trade for Kuz for it wouldn't even really be a first rounder for me for Kuz. Kuz doesn't have that value to me personally.
Yeah, he has an interesting value because it's all on the team that actually wants him.
Exactly.
You value him because another team may not value him the same. So
that's why. Yeah, that's when I used to hear the reports about it, and Brandon's totally right. about them wanting 2 first rounders. I'm like, are you serious? Like, what market have you been like? What have you been watching? Like, what NBA trades have you seen? Have you seen the guys who are way better than Kuzma get traded for less?
I mean, but that's the problem, though, is that we, as an organization, the Western Wizards, that is, overvalue their players. Let's start with Bradley Beal. I mean, we ain't got to talk too long about it, but I mean, we overvalue our guys. You know, when they put that price tag out, there's like 2 first round. Come on now. Like, there's other guys that have similar games. I mean, Jeremy Grant, you know, this guy out there. I mean, you know, you
exactly.
Now look, the market does change. The market changes, but you have to catch the market at the right time. That's GM skills, man. You have to catch the market at the right time and flip them at the right time. And last year, to me, was the best time because look, man, you look at the preseason. You know, Kuz either A, looks uninterested, or B, just like I'm just here, man. Like last year was the prime time to move him. But a lot of these veteran guys, and Justin hit the nail on the head with, you know, directionless. I think we have more of a direction than we did under Tommy. But here's the thing: we still are in the same scenario we are last year, where we have vets on the roster that we're going to have to give playing time in the first half of the year and try to showcase them and hope that we move them. And then we still have to give a lot of minutes to these young guys in the second half. And it really takes a toll on development because that's 2 years that you could have had plenty of playing time for development, and you still having to move these guys. And it's risky to move these moves, man. I mean, if you look at, you know, you're banking on the fact that you're going to move Jonas Valanciunas for some assets, which I think he's the most tradable guy out of the vets. But Malcolm Brogdon, what's his biggest thing? Injuries all the time, and he's already hurt, so his trade values went down. I mean, Sadiq Bey, the same thing. What kind of player are you getting back when he comes back?
I forgot they got Sadiq Bey. I forgot they got Sadiq Bey.
And I like Sadiq Bey, man. But you know, coming off an ACL surgery, and it's not like it used to be where ACL injury was like a death sentence for a player. You know, you can still come back and be productive, but you know, Jordan Poole is an interesting case, man, because like you guys said, there's times where you're like, oh man, you can play, and then there's times where it's like, come on, bro, like what are you doing, man? Like you know, shooting 3-pointers in transition, you know, not utilizing the shot clock, just you know, inefficiency is just him and Kyle Kuzma. They have to find ways if they want to stay in DC, find ways to change the game so these young guys can eat and develop. That's my biggest thing.
Just Ray just said, Kuz, he said Kuz is still looking for brunch spots.
Yo, I tell you, man, you know he's looking for brunch spots. You know it, man. I don't know if he want to leave DC, man. He out every weekend. In the Rose Bar.
He Rose Bar, bro. He's not. He don't. I'll say. I know he don't want to leave DC. Let's put it that way. I know he don't want to leave DC.
I know, man. He comfortable.
He very comfortable, man. He's very comfortable. So I mean, I like to get an outside. I mean, somebody who's not in the area. Somebody just watches ball. I'm high on the ability of Bilal Coulibaly. I think he could be a really good basketball player. I think he could be an all-star down the road. I won't put the Giannis thing. I think people go a little bit too hard in terms of saying he could be the next Giannis. But I do see a little bit where they're coming from. So what's your thought process on the talent of Bilal?
I like Bilal, man. I think Bilal has been, you know, he's shown a lot of progress, and he's shown a lot of great progress, you know, since he's been there in Washington. But I need to figure out, are they truly going to make him the starter? Like coming into the season, are you the guy? Are we going to lean on you? Are you playing over Poole? Are you playing over somebody else? Obviously, we got rid of Denny, so there's some room now. So are they really going to commit to Bilal being the starter? Because if you don't give him that vote of confidence, how are you going to expect him to take the next leap? You're going to have to guarantee him about, I can't even remember how much minutes he averaged last year, but he's going to have to get around 30 minutes if you're positioning him as, you know, one of the next faces of the franchise, or maybe not even face of the franchise, at least one of the pillars of the franchise, you know, at least moving forward, because you're not going to be able to get free agents if you don't already have some talent there that guys want to at least play with. You get what I'm saying? Like, nobody wanted to go to San Antonio for a while. And then look, they got Wemby, and obviously it attracts guys to come over there. So you need to showcase your young talent if you want other guys to come in too. And then, you know, you can start making some trades, and maybe they might be pissed in the beginning of the trade, but then they get there like, oh, damn, Bilal, he's kind of nice. You know, I didn't know he was as good as that. We don't get to see them on national TV as much. So I think he definitely has a second, third, and a fourth gear that he needs to get to. But let's see if they commit to giving him minutes, because I think they need to, I would say.
Yeah, do you think, are they going to start him? Is he going to start?
They better start him. I mean,
did he start in the preseason? Did he start in the preseason?
That's what I'm trying for.
Well, they changed up the lineups.
They changed the lineup so much. That's what I'm asking. They changed it up so much.
Yeah, the first lineup he was playing 2 guard, and then they switched it up to where they had either Alex Sars at the 5 or Kuz slid back to the 4. But I'm with Justin, man. You start this guy because what's it tell a young player, man, that year 2 you bring him to the bench after the first year you started the guy like him and Alex Sars, they have to start. You start these guys, and that's what I'm saying. Sooner or later, you got to start a youth movement in DC where these guys, if they're going to be the core in DC, then you got to give them chemistry. They have to play together. Put them out there in the second half and let them. They're going to catch L's in the second half, absolutely, but they're learning, man. They're developing, they're playing. So, that's what I'm saying. That I agree with the comment where it's kind of directionless because this is the second year in a row where you're looking at like, man, we got to flip these veterans, and it's not guaranteed you're going to flip these guys. Like, it's not a guarantee you're going to move on from. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon's going to be a hard one, man, because his injury, he's already hurt, and he's on the hook for 22.5. So, what team is going to bring on 22.5 for a guy who, look, availability is your best ability. That's it.
No, I agree. I think that he needs to play. I'm all about playing young dudes. I hate when they like sit and play with young dudes.
Yeah,
like I hate that crap.
One more thing, fellas. I want to ask y'all, what's the starting 5 then?
So
the starting 5?
I know. I mean, at first they had. I thought Sarr was going to start. I'm not sure if Sarr is going to start anymore, right?
Brandon just said he should start. So are you starting him at the 4 or the 5? 4?
I think he'd be the 5, right? He'd be the 5, right? You want the 4?
He can be the 5. He can be the 5.
And today's NBA week. Today's NBA week.
He ain't ready, man.
Like these bigs weak as I don't know. So you say he could be the 5. Like who we got to worry about? Rudy Gobert? What are we doing here?
Embiid.
What are we doing here? Like
who else? Embiid.
He's not even playing every day. Like really?
Yeah.
Like really? Like
I mean, yeah. The center.
Bam. Huh?
Bam.
Yeah.
Bam is like undersized, but yeah, he's a 5.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say this, man. Build a starting 5 where you can knock 2 birds with one stone.
This is what Cam said. Poole, Koulibaly, Kuzma, George, and Sarr. You start George?
So that's at the 5.
See, that's Sarr at the 5. Yeah.
So what's up with Valanciunas? You signing for nothing?
I mean,
you start him, man.
He's starting. So I'm about he's starting. He is starting. All right. So I do know the 5. Like it'll be Valanciunas. It'll be Sarr at the 4. Kuz at the 3. Kuz at the 3, right?
4, but now he'll have to go to the 3.
Yeah, Kuz will be at the 3.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, now we can have a problem now. Now who's at the 2? Bilal or Poole? Or Poole is the point?
Pool's gonna be the 1, and Bilal's
Poole's gonna be 1. And Bilal,
but Poole is not a 1.
He's gonna play 1 for him exactly. But that's why they got rid of That's why they got rid of old boy.
You know what that tells me? Directionless, fellas.
Yeah,
Jordan Poole is not a 1.
Hey, I've been saying, look, but you know what? And B can attest to this. Like when they had Tyus Young, Tyus Jones, excuse me, Tyus Jones. He wanted to play the 1 over Ty.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing. Like he was like, I need the ball in my hand. I need to be the 1. Like he was saying he needs to be the 1. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, do you watch yourself play? Like I literally was like, do you watch yourself play as he does? He's a player and he's the ball in his hand. But to be a 1 to set everybody up, especially when you got guys like Kuzma on your team, it ain't a fit, bro. It just ain't a fit.
Yeah, but I'll say this.
Go ahead.
I'll say this. Right now, it's chestnut checkers. I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah. Because when he came over from Golden State, what was the biggest problem that a lot of people around the league had with him? Maturity issues, locker room issues. He's trying to fix that. He's trying to fix that image.
That image.
First thing you're gonna do is do what? Embrace the city you're playing in. I want to be here. I want to be here long term. He wants to showcase other teams that he could be that guy. But I'm with Justin. I mean, yeah, he's best with the ball in his hands, but long term, I think we all know it that Bob Carrington is the future.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I think so too. I totally agree. So here you go. Alexander said the direction is tanking, which leads to Cooper Flag, the Wizards front office.
Every time a team does that, though, they don't get what they don't
get. I know. That's the only thing. Yeah. I know they're trying to get him.
I hate that. You just got to say, if we get him, we get him. You know what I mean? Not really tank for him. It's never, to me, it's never a good idea.
Nah.
Because you don't control it. You don't control tanking for real. Like you don't. I mean, you could. It's a lottery, so you don't really control it. You know what I mean? Jackson.
I saw Brooklyn Stray in the comments.
Oh, did you? Did you? I see. Wait, hold on. He said JP can run the 1, in my opinion. Jack, I saw one. Here you go, my man. Dandy said, "Where's this angle on the flag? It'll be another random team like Brooklyn or Houston."
Damn, shots fired.
I think Brooklyn going. Well, I think Ben's going to shock some folks. We'll talk about that later, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my joint. I think Ben gonna shock some folks. I think Ben gonna
Ben
shock a lot.
Simmons?
Oh yeah, I think if we going like y'all gonna see. I think Ben gonna shock some folks. And Ben is like really hurt my soul in terms of his basketball, but
I hope so, man. I mean, it's like the 5th year in a row I've seen videos of him shooting 3-pointers.
Oh no, that irks my life. I can't. I ignore that actually. I hide those videos because I don't need to see that in my life. Danny said, a question for you, Brandon. If the Wizards season doesn't go well this season, will Kuzma trade value still hold as a potential first round pick with expiring contract or less?
I think you're still going to get that first round pick because he can still provide points, whether it's in starting capacity or coming off the bench for a contending team. But once you hit 2 first round picks, it's kind of like, all right, he's entering territory of a guy who's a game changer. And Kuz, look, he's not a guy who's really going to change the game. Like he's a guy you can pencil in for 20 points a night, but defense is you still wanted more from him with defense. I mean, setting guys up, you see glimpses, but then, and to me, the biggest thing with Kuz is inefficiency. He's too reliant on that jump shot. He's got to use his frame to attack the basket more. So I think he could do more, but as far as value, I don't see 2 first round picks, man. And I was going to say something about Jordan Poole real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I do like me some Jordan Poole, man, but my biggest thing is this. The ball's in his court. No pun intended. I mean, the ball is in his court. He's got to prove what he can do this year. This is a pivotal year for him because look at the price tag. Like you get to a certain point in that price tag. Like he's got to show something. I mean, if he could prove that, he could be that guy, then I'm all for it because right now, the organization said that, look, they want to invest in a backcourt of Jordan Poole and Bob Carrington. But, I said it before, it's all good and well if you want to be in DC, you like DC, but you have to perform. This is an industry where it's all about performance. You can like being here all you want, man. I like Disneyland, man, but I can't afford to live down there. I mean, so.
No, I'm with you. Hey, Jack said, Sar will start every game at the 5, but the bigger matchups like Jokic, Jokic, Sengun, and he still got Sengun. Sengun is good, though. I ain't gonna lie. Sengun is good, etc. Val will start, and Sar will be the 4.
I don't know if Val is gonna like coming off the bench, man, for a rook.
He look old now, though. You're right, though. He's looking kind of. You ever seen him run yet? Have you seen him run recently? He ain't looking right.
Oh, he's slow, yeah.
Alexander said, the Spurs tanked in '97. That led to Tim Duncan, but. Man, that worked out well. Then the Spurs tanked again in 2022 to 2023, which led to Wembanyama. I'm gonna say this though, the Wemby joint with y'all rigged. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I mean, I felt like that was rigged. I felt like it was perfect. I ain't gonna hold you. It was like the next big. They did the same thing with Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson situation when Dave missed the whole season. That allowed them to get Duncan. Then it was like Wemby. You just knew like he was an international player. Like he was going to play with Pop. I just had that. Like I just knew. There was no way it wasn't.
I'll say this. It was very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. It was very convenient.
But it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah.
Like a perfect fit, perfect pick.
Yes.
For the perfect team.
Exactly. I think that he had to go to. I think San Antonio was it. It was for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bilal. He says. Jack said Bilal Sar flag on defense would be crazy. Everybody wants Cooper, man. Cooper like that, though. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Cooper is like that. Question said, Daniel said, will the Spurs sign Kispert to an extension this season? It's important for him to be consistent, in my opinion. So let me answer this before we go to the next topic. We're about to end the Wizard segment, though. I think Kispert gets traded because Kispert, like I mentioned, I think his value may be higher than a lot of individuals on the team. What I mean by that is he plays perfect team basketball. And he is perfect for a contender, like absolutely perfect for a contender. He's a slasher. He can slash. He can spot up. Obviously, every folks know he can spot up and shoot. He got range. In today's NBA, he is the perfect player for especially an ISO guard, like a Ja, like a some of the for Luka, he'd be awesome. There's so many players that he fits. His skill set fits a dominant ball handling player. Like he fits it. If he had in Philly with even Embiid, he fits. Like there are so many places where you can put in a Corey Kispert and then he can give buckets. So I don't feel like the extensions that he has proven. I think he's kind of proved himself, to be real with you, for what his body of work now for a contender. If you're talking about like a mid team, then they wouldn't need a Corey Kispert. But for a contender, Corey Kispert with his trade value was up there for real. Like you can tell, like I would say more than Jordan Poole and even Kuz. Yeah. Like his value as a player for a contender is high.
I agree, but I will say this though, and this is my personal standpoint about it. If you move Kispert, you move these vets off the roster because here's my thing. I get it that every GM comes in and they put their mark on the franchise, but you don't necessarily have to ship out every player that was from the previous regime. I mean, Denny, 23 years old, the guy finally broke out. I mean, I get the trade, but in the same sense, it's like, then you turn around and you sign at 25 years old. To me, if you move on from Kispert, make it a youth movement. Because it's like this, picking and choosing, which guy's part of the future, who's not. Yeah. I mean, the timeline is like funny right now because before you thought that Kispert and Denny were both part of the timeline, looking at the age, but and then you revert back, you look back at the draft picks where all of them are underneath the age of 21. But then you got guys like Sadiq Bey, 25 years old. You have Jordan Poole, 25 years old. So to me, if you want to send a clear message not only to the organization, to the NBA, and to the fan base, you go ahead and make it a youth movement. If you move on from a guy like Corey Kispert, who look at his age, man, come on, 25. If you move on from him, then you move on from all the vets. And that's just me personally, because I can't really look at a scenario where, we're going to move Kispert, but then we're going to hold on to Poole or Sadiq. No, I mean, you have to have a clear direction. And that's been my biggest thing with the organization. Because look, man, when Brad was here and Tommy was here, I was one of the people that threw smoke at the organization all the time because there was no, there was no path. Where were we going, man? And I do like what Will Dawkins is doing, but you still have to have a blueprint where you're going. And you can't pick and choose with young guys. You got to make it a youth movement. So to me, if you move on from Corey Kispert, you move on from all the vets and you make it a youth movement and you formally give it over to the young guys.
Yeah, Cam said, I have a feeling we might trade Kispert. We got Sadiq coming back later this season. I think you can get something for him. I think you get more than even more than some of the other guys that's quote unquote on the market. What's your thoughts about Kispert, just because I know a lot of folks don't see him play, but I kind of been going. I mean, when I'm going covering games, his game really stands out to me. But I want to know your opinion about Kispert before we go.
He's a good solid player in my opinion. He's a nice player that I call him. He's one of those plug and play players.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's a guy who can fit seamlessly into any lineup, any offense. You give him a specific role, and he's going to really play his role. And be a star in his role. So I think of course he can get some more opportunities in a place, in a different type of place, but he's the type of player that a contender would want actually, because he can fill a role and a need for a team. And he's like one of those unsung heroes guy. He's like he could be like a Max Strus. Remember how Max Strus came out of nowhere from Miami?
True.
He played well in the playoffs and boom, he got a deal, and now he's in Cleveland right now. You know what I mean? So Kispert can be a guy like that, but he also can be a nice complementary piece on the Wizards as well. So I kind of would hold on to him depending on. I feel like they need to figure out the other guys first before they can even get to Kispert. You know what I mean? Unless someone calls and asks for him.
I'm with you. You keep Kispert. You need that shooter. I mean, if you look at Corey Kispert, man, his basketball IQ is through the roof. I mean, his ability to move without the basketball is a skill that the NBA has forgot about. People don't look at moving without the basketball anymore, man. I mean, if you look at shooters like Ray Allen, why was Ray Allen so great? Because his ability to set himself up in the best position to shoot. Corey Kispert, with his ability to slash the basket, drive to the basket, improve ball handling. You have a guy, and it goes back to my point where just because he came from a previous regime doesn't mean you don't hold on to him. He's a guy that has value. He's a guy that you need on a team. If you eventually want to be a contender, you need a guy like Corey Kispert. And I like the tandem between him and Keyshawn George in the second unit, man. I think those two together are money.
So on Instagram, Coach Tony 42, I think he's a fan of Kuz. He said Kuz is a mismatch problem at the stretch four. Do you agree?
He can be.
He can't be. Okay. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, he can be. Like I said, with his size, I mean, you put him in the best position to succeed, he's going to eat. But the thing is, to me, overall, we know what he can do. But overall, it's all about the plan of the team. Right now, to me, priority is developing young talent. That's it. That's where my mind's at. All these vets. It's going to be cool watching these guys play. But my mind's on the future. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking about, developing this young talent because to me, Bilal Coulibaly is the priority. Alex Sarge is a priority. Buck Carrington, Keyshawn Jordan, Tristan Vucevic, Cooper Flag. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like they're the priority. These guys, these veterans, most of them are not even going to be here when we're trying to compete. So, if you want these guys to be around, you have to find ways for them to still do their thing, still eat. but provide opportunities for guys to succeed. Also, looking at these young guys. So,
hey, Jess, you think he a mismatch problem? Kuz?
Mismatch may be a stretch. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't use the word. Mismatch.
At the
I mean,
four, you don't think so?
I wouldn't use. I think he can be a problem at times. I'll say that. But a mismatch means I'm getting the rock and nobody here can guard me. I'm not saying that when I see Kuz with the rock. To be honest, but can he get some buckets? Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Can he get you 20? Yeah. Can he get you 30 occasionally? Yeah. But mismatch. If he was in the G League, then I'll be like, all right.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo!
No, I didn't mean disrespect. I'm saying a mismatch. Yeah, if you put him in the G League, then yeah, these dudes can't go on me. It's a mismatch. But in the NBA, then maybe it sounded harsh, but I know what I mean when I said it.
I know what you meant, though. I know what you meant.
It wasn't really supposed to be.
Almost like, yo, you took him to the rec center around here. Like, he a mismatch problem at the rec.
Yeah. But in the NBA, at the four, there's a lot of good fours. He playing against JT. Is he a mismatch?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm going against other fours that are there.
Yeah.
But Kuzma's solid, man. I gotta see. I don't know if he's a leader or not. I guess he's gotta figure that out. If he's a leader, he's supposed to be. He's been here long enough now. It's time for him to step up in some way. But I don't know about mismatch. I'll say that.
I'm keeping a leader.
So why is he here then? He's the longest tenured player, is he not?
I mean, there's reasons why he's here. I mean, he's like he gets the paint. He's got a blank canvas. He gets the paint. I'm gonna use something that Jordan Poole said like a while back, which is kind of wild to me. But Kuz didn't say it, but it's kind of you can kind of tell. He won a championship, so now he can do whatever he want to do. Kind of like he's won a championship. Jordan Poole said, "I won my championship in Golden State," so now. I guess he thought he had a legacy or something. So now it's like Kuz is like he's won his championship, and you can tell the way he plays. It's like free, like because he did all that in the beginning, right? In the beginning, he was trying to find himself. Yeah, like, he was trying to find himself. Then he got some notoriety because like LeBron didn't get him traded, so he got to play with the Lakers. He didn't get him traded. He wasn't part of that trade mob. So he got to win his bubble champ. He got to win the championship in the bubble. I hate calling it the bubble championship because I appreciate my championship, but he won it. So
come on,
Laker fan would say that.
I appreciate my championship. So he won our championship, right? And then so you could tell, like how certain players. We try to throw shade at my Lakers. Is that what we're doing right now?
No crowd. You want a title with no crowd?
Yeah, it's like championship junior, man.
Yeah, come on. No crowd. No women distracting you in the front row. Nobody's moms yelling.
You got TV monitors.
Come on,
dog. Even your random bums could play ball now because there's nobody cheering them on. Like them dudes. Look, it was the hardest championship ever. But don't get me started. That's a whole different debate. But like. Now you could tell about the way he plays. Like you could tell there's a freedom of like he don't gotta tell nobody nothing. So basically, he don't gotta tell you shit. Like he comfortable. Like there's no pressure. That's the problem. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. So that's what I'm saying. The leaders, like if you want the drive to win a championship, the drive to be great, you could tell them there'll be a change in your play. There'll be a change. Like for instance, like there was a change in Kobe's mentality. So when it got to a point where like, dang, I can score all the 30 I want when Shaq was gone, but now it's time to win a championship. Yeah. Like you can tell the change though, like to be a leader, just like to figure out, all right, now I'm about to try to win a championship. Because it was like when he won championships with Shaq, he was the Robin, right? Yeah. But then he got Shaq gone. Then he wanted to have his name out there, say, yo, I could score 30 plus, I could lead the league in scoring, I could do all that. That gets old. Right? If you're about winning championships, that gets old. You could see how Kobe switched. He flipped the switch and it was like, all right, I want to win a championship. Now I kind of can do it my way, but also I want to be a leader with it. Kuz ain't showing nobody. He ain't showing you that. He's showing you what he is. But I will give him credit though. Has he matured a lot compared to what he used to be? Yeah, of course. He's matured. Yeah. With an age, you're going to mature a little bit. But is he a true leader? No. Because you watch the games, you be like, no, that's not leadership stuff. That's just not. Like in preseason, you're supposed to get the young dudes going, get them confident. You ain't supposed to be out there jacking up shots. Nobody worried about you. You're a proven vet. Why are you jacking up shots in preseason? You're a proven vet. That shouldn't be a thing for a vet.
But you are who you are. And that's the thing in the NBA is that, the one thing that the Wizards do or did or still do that I don't agree with is, putting people in positions that they're not built to be in. We all know that Bradley Beal was the number one option. Let's be real. Kyle Kuzma, yes, in DC he's number one option, but on a contending team, he's a third, maybe fourth option. Like he's not a guy who's going to be to showcase your offense. I mean, Jordan Poole, yes, you took a guy in the trade, sending Chris Paul to Golden State. You want to see if you can get this guy to the level of an all-star, which look, Jordan Poole could play. He could definitely play. It's just finding the right role for him. Now, could he be the point guard of the future? To me, I like Jordan Poole, but here's my thing: I'm also a realist, man. Long term on a championship team, I see Jordan Poole as a six man, and that's just me. Yeah. He's a guy. He's right now. He's trying to figure out who he is, but he's got a shot this year. To me, and I know there's a comment, for him being most improved player.
Oh, I saw that.
I can see him being most improved player, man. But here's the thing: there's no pressure on a lot of these players, but Jordan Poole, to me, in my opinion, because he's got to show what he can do. This team has a lot invested in him. If you look at that price tag, and like I said, if they don't intend him being the future at point guard, then you got to find a scenario where you get that trade value up and you move him in, because that price tag, man. And yeah, the money's not going to hold you down, because the next 3 years we're going to be pretty bad. And it's all about development. But I mean, still, who says we're going to be bad for that long? Look, we don't know if these young guys are going to develop quicker than we think. But Lau, you already see some progress. If he's fine tuning his offensive skills. Once you get the 2025 draft and these guys we already drafted hit pay dirt early, who's to say we aren't better earlier? Because like I said, all the pressures on the front office, all the pressures on the head coach. But look, the front office, have they had their misses? Yeah. I mean, didn't get much you didn't get anything for Tyus, didn't get anything for KP. We just waived Jared Butler. A lot of people are unhappy about Jared Butler being gone. But overall, he's done an all right job. But, and I think it's too early to really judge his front office. But here's the thing. Eventually, we're going to want to see some progress. We want to see this ship hit in the right direction. So get these veterans off the contracts, man. That's my biggest thing. Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, they like it here. That's cool, man. I like all that. But, I mean, you got to perform, and you have to be real what direction you're going, man. Yeah, you want guys to want to be here, but in the same token, it kind of mirrors the last regime to a certain degree, where it's like, oh, Brad wants to be here. No, Brad wants to get paid, man. Like, I mean, that's the biggest thing to me. So looking at Jordan Poole, if he wants to be here, then you have to perform. You can't just wear a Nats hat and hang out. Like, you gotta perform and really be that guy, man, and be a pillar, like Justin said.
I'm saying, the only person who wanted to be here was John Wall. They should bring back John Wall. That's the only person who really wanted to be here.
Yeah, he really wanted to be here, man.
John wanted to be here. He really wanted to. He wanted to.
He at least as an ambassador or something.
I know, man. I know. Maybe that's a whole different conversation. But hey, before we end this Wizards segment, I'm gonna start with you. Give me how many wins you think the Wizards are going to get this year? How many wins? I didn't say losses. See, I said wins. I was being.
I'm gonna say 15 or 20 wins. I think if they make an improvement, it's gonna be 5 games. I think that most of the wins are gonna come in the first half.
So how many wins? How many wins?
I'm gonna say 20.
20?
But I'm gonna say about 15 of those 20 in the first
15
half.
20. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sheesh, that's tough. What about you, Josh? I mean, I like your perspective, because you're like an outsider out of this area.
I'm gonna go like 15, to be honest. 15? I think like 15. Okay. Yeah. But I think they might be a little bit more competitive in more games, but they'll win some close. They'll lose some close games. So I think they'll get about 15.
Man, the East got tough. The East got tough.
Yeah, there's just more good players in the league. So.
Yeah. And then everybody ain't playing every night. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I guess 15 sounds legit. I know they definitely in the Cooper Flag lottery. I know that. They in it for real. I mean, no, I think as much as I like Bilal, it's crazy. I like last year's. In terms of trying to win games, because I didn't even like last year's roster like that. But I kind of like last year's roster more. But I do like to your point, Dobie, I do like the young talent. So I'll say 15. Okay. I can go 15. That's fair. I don't want people to think I'm a Wizards hater, because I got to go cover the team sometimes. I want folks to think I'm a hater. They look at me and see me, and then they start cussing at me and whatnot. I don't got time for that.
Join the club, bro. Join the club.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't got time for that shit. All right, man. Let's go to the NBA now. So many great stories in the NBA. And this is a guy that you like a lot. You know what I mean? And they're the defending champions in the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum. He won a chip. First, I'm gonna ask you. He didn't get no burn in the Olympics. I don't know what that was about. Jaylen Brown didn't get no invite. I don't know what that's about. They role players got an invite before Jaylen Brown was wild, which is nasty work, which is nasty.
Crazy work.
You know what I'm saying? So first off, how motivated do you think they're going to be? And do you see them as the favorites in, to win the championship?
Yes, I see them as the favorites, but favorites slightly because this is another year like last year when anyone can be beat. I still thought the Celtics were beatable last year. You know what I mean? They just also ran into some fortunate teams as well. And then the East was no match for that lineup. They were too formidable. They had too much continuity going into the season. They were locked in and ready to go. So are they going to be more motivated this year? Yes, I believe so. And I think that they should. I also think they need to be. You talked about JT, my guy. This is the year of Jason Tatum, in my opinion. That Olympic shit was very disrespectful. I'm sure he's taking it personally. He should take it personally. I was taking it personally for him. I felt like I was watching like, come on, Steve Kerr, don't do my man like that. Don't do him like that. But hey, it is what it is. It's neither here nor there. They still got the gold medal. But this is the year of Jason Tatum, in my opinion, and he needs to finish. He needs to be the MVP, in my opinion. He's got the championship now. This needs to be the year he is MVP. He is a top 3 MVP candidate, in my opinion. I got my top 3. Him, John Morant. I got a couple of joints I'm sneaking in. I like that. But Jason Tatum, all of that nice shit that he's been doing these last couple of years, let that shit go out the window. All that nice shit go out the window. This is his year to dominate. Yeah, Jaylen Brown wants to do the same thing as well, but from game one, it's time for Jason Tatum to play angry. He's got to play aggressive, and he's got to put teams away because clearly the stats are not enough to get you MVP. It's got to be about the moments. So he needs more moments of him dominating, and I think that would help out his case this year. But they're going to be a top contending team. We know either 1 or 2 seed, I think, in my opinion, because they're still deep. They could sustain a lot of injuries, and they're going to be right there at the end. So it's all about matchups in the postseason, in my opinion.
So, what about you? Do you think the Celtics have a good chance to run it back?
Absolutely. I mean, they're that team of the East. Now, I'll say this: the Knicks might have crept up on them a little bit. Indiana, I mean, look, Halliburton in company, man, can't sleep on them, man. But to me, they do have some hard decisions though, and I think that you have some risk. I mean, if you look at KP already hurt. If you still got 2 years of KP where you're paying him 29.2 and then 30.7. So, like I say all the time, availability is your best ability. Also, Drew Holiday, at what point does he start to show some decline? But I think that eventually Brown, they're going to have to choose between Brown and Tatum at some point. I think the Tatum's going to get a nod, obviously, because he's the face. Nothing against Brown. I'm a big fan of Jaylen Brown, man. But going back to the Olympics, oh, that's so disrespectful. I mean, the guy just won a championship, and then you don't even play him. It's like the man just won a chip, and you don't even get picked at the playground. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't get crazy.
It's nasty work in every stretch of the imagination, and it's not like he was in the Olympics like 4 years ago, and he got playing time. He was effective.
Bro, so he was the second leading scorer.
Yeah, it's just nasty. I don't care what it is, like, because it didn't have you, and it's not. I get like KD and all that. I mean, I get whatever. That's fine, whatever. But you're gonna have role players playing more than him, though. Like your teammate, they're not even better than you, playing more than you. Like, come on.
It was insane. And then you got to say you can't find a role for him. Like Jason Tatum doesn't do everything on the floor.
Exactly. Like he defends. It's not like he don't play defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he's a wonder. He was talking about him as if Jason Tatum was a one-dimensional player. Like I can't figure out what he can do, how he can contribute. What do you mean? Throw him on the floor. He's gonna figure out how to contribute. If he got to stand in the corner, he got to stand in the corner. If he got to rebound, he got to rebound. If he got to play defense, he got to play defense. Don't try to play him like that.
Yeah, I just never seen a dude that's like he's like a 6'10" dude. Basically, he's like 6'10", who can shoot the ball. He defends. He can handle the rock. And you said you can't use it. And even if you don't want him to handle the rock, even if you don't want him to handle the rock, right? Who wouldn't want him as a pick and pop player, or who wouldn't want him as a corner 3-point shooter? Who wouldn't want him in that role regardless? Even though he's more than that, who wouldn't want him doing that anyway on the floor?
Let's be real. Jason Tatum was very professional. He handled it like a pro.
Sure did.
But let's be real. He should have got really upset, and he should have been very upset at Steve Kerr for that. Like, come on. He handled it like a pro, but I would be pissed if it was me.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, honestly, because you said like he needs to to get MVP, he has to be a little meaner. He's just such a nice dude. Like I don't even know if that's in him.
The humbleness.
The humbleness you know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like
the humbleness is getting a little annoying. I wouldn't say it's
it is.
Just the humbleness of it. You know what I mean? Like you're better than a lot of these guys. Facts. Come on, just act like it's okay for him. You know, I feel like he's earned the right, and nobody would be surprised by it. You know, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I know what, to your point, it almost goes back to what I was talking about earlier with some of the other players like Kuz and Kobe and all that. Like Kuz, I use Kuz as an example. Like now, for real, he can let loose. He kind of can let loose. He's won his championship.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they try to do and try to minimize it, he won a championship and he was a key player in the. He was one of the best. Could have been MVP. He could have been the MVP. It could have went either way. Whatever you want to slice it. Now he can play it y'all respect me. I got y'all. Like I got y'all. I got all of y'all. Like if you want to ever say, man, F this humbleness, this is the time to do it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is the time to do it. Because you can't say, oh man, you playing selfish ball like you haven't won a championship. Nah, bro, I won a championship. I can do whatever I want now. You know, and I'm one of them to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do it now. So I think it's about that time for Jason Tatum. My man Dandon said Tatum about to drop 60 on Golden State. The season payback. Payback on Kerr. Yeah, I agree. He should though. He should. And Missoula, if Missoula don't let him go ham, that's a problem. That he should get the green light in that game.
Oh, absolutely.
He should get the green light. He should get the green light. All right, so wait. First off, you say KP hurt already?
Yeah, I believe he's hurt.
He's hurt. Is he still from last year's injury? Right?
Is it still from last year?
It's from last year, right? Okay.
I think he's gonna miss like a month or two. They were saying.
That's it.
Like
it's cool. I mean, you're gonna have him back because to me he's the key. Like he's the key on that because he just makes everything easy for Brown and Tatum because there's more space. Like if you got him at the 5 and you still got Al Horford still on the squad too. He ain't retiring now, did he? Big Al's still on the squad, right?
No, he's the starting center. He's starting now.
He's still starting now. He's still starting. Okay, yes.
You
still got Bill, but so you got still Big Al. So to me, like you still the spacing is crazy. Like you still have that's too much. Your bigs are now pick and pop players. They can still do Al, even at his age, can still defend. Like a lot of people try, he can still defend. Porzingis is a shot blocker when he comes back. He's a shot blocker. I feel like their versatility in terms and with meshed in with their star players is what makes them difficult. Like, you can say like people could say like, oh man, I like the Sixers. They got Paul George, and I like Paul George. You got Embiid, obviously. And then you got the guard who's vicious. I'm sorry, I keep getting him confused. My other Kentucky
Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, Maxey. Thank you, Maxey. You got Maxey, so obviously that's a problem right there, right? But still, like in terms of a perfect fit for your as a 5, the Celtics got like one of the best 5s. They got to me the best 5 because it's a perfect. It's not about the talent. The talent is great, but it's a perfect fit with the talent. You know what I mean? Like JB Tatum. You know what I'm saying? You could say whatever. Like JD. Sometimes I want them to play better together at times because I don't like the you go, my go person. I don't like that type of crap. But because the other 3 dudes, it works. Because the other 3 dudes make everything easy. You know what I mean? Like Drew Holiday can, if you needed him to be a set shooter, he can. But Drew Holiday cuts to the basket when those dudes are handling the rock. So now he cuts to the basket, gets you an easy lay. We see with White is now become a better spot-up shooter, better shooter with the ball in his hand now in terms of off the dribble. There's so much they have in terms of, and we all know Al Horford, pick and pop, Porzingis. They're just so versatile. So I feel like, in terms of a starting 5, they may have the most talent, they're the best starting 5. I don't even call them the most talented. They're the best starting 5. So I guess that's what makes them tough. Because, and even when they play the Celtics, I mean, Porzingis is still going to draw out Embiid, and he won't be in the block because you got to respect Porzingis as a shooter. So it's going to be tough. Like I feel like that team is going to be that team has an opportunity to do some real damage if they stay healthy. But Porzingis, to my man B's point, Porzingis is the key though. He got to stay healthy though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You gotta stay healthy. My man, barbershop folks. They out here. Say what's up, Just. Oh, so it was going on.
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
What's good?
It was going on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he said Knicks and Wolves in the finals. All right, who y'all got going to the finals for real? Y'all Knicks and Wolves?
Nah.
Hey, Just you New York, bro.
They Knicks fans. They Knicks fans.
I know they Knicks fans. I know they are. I know. I know they Knicks fans. I know. You got who you got? Who you got? Well, who you got in the finals, Just? We're gonna talk about other stuff. Who you got in the finals? Since he brought that up early.
Damn, that was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I think in the East is gonna be the Celtics in my opinion.
Yeah.
In the West, I'm really
That's
struggling.
Tough. The West is tough.
I'm really struggling.
It's tough.
Yeah, because it really could go a lot of. You see it? All right. You
Healthy Memphis.
He took it from me because that's what I'm leaning to, but I was a little nervous to say it.
Oh, you like Edie right now? Like
Edie? I like the Memphis Grizzlies, man.
Like Edie and Ja?
They're the most underrated team in the league, brother. The most underrated team in the league is the Memphis Grizzlies. Put that on the set. I'm telling you. They're gonna be I think they're gonna be a top 4 seed in the West.
I love Ja, so everybody know that.
Yeah. If he's healthy. If he gets hurt, then this gets thrown out the window, of course.
Yeah.
But I really like the Grizzlies. I think they're coming back with a vengeance this year because I think now they turn into a team that's the hunter instead of the hunted.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the season prior, they had a great year. So then people started to realize this team is really good and they were playing them a different way. But now they go back to being the hunters, and I think that's a better spot for the Grizzlies. This is better when they play hungry. Yeah. So I think the Grizzlies are a team that's very underrated in my opinion. And honestly, the West 1 through 8, literally anybody can go to the finals. That's why I told you too. There's no favorite to me in the West. None.
Yeah, there's some tough teams. Definitely, Memphis is a team that I'm kind of like I'm kind of geeked to see. I want to see Ja in that first game. Hey, so what about you, B? What's your finals prediction?
Man, I had Memphis too, man, but I'm gonna switch it up.
So you did have seasons. Everybody
man. Sleepers, man, sleepers. But
the sleeper.
There's another sleeper team out there, man, that nobody's talking about. I mean, Zion and the Pelicans, man. Zion came in, lost some weight. I'm saying, man, they're looking good. They just picked up DeJounte Murray. You got CJ McCollum. You got Brandon Ingram. They're a sleeper team out of the West, man. And out of the East, man, I want to say the Celtics. I mean, because all roads go through Boston, man. But I mean, New York's got some traction. I think
I knew he was going to say the Knicks.
Yeah, man.
I felt it.
I mean, that Karl Anthony Towns trade was a good move, man, in my opinion. You know,
it's a good fit. It is a good fit. It's a fit. It definitely is. It's a fit. Trey said you said Trey the Knicks fan. Maestro's like I know Maestro. I know he liked the Wizards. I know Brandon. Can you give Echo some hope for the season? Now ain't no hope, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. Brandon ain't gotta tell you. Brandon ain't gotta tell you. I'll tell you, ain't no hope.
Bourbon,
I'll keep the buck. Ain't no hope. My prediction, I think I'm gonna say the Lakers or something. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Lakers. I don't care. The Lakers in the finals. Lakers Boston. We gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back to like
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? HBO, baby. HBO, baby. Jerry West. Rest in peace, buddy. Savages,
definitely
Magic, all Savages. We're gonna say winning time. We can bring it back with winning time. That's what we doing. We doing winning time shit. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. But no, all jokes aside, though, I mean, I would love my Lakers to get to the finals, but it's gonna be tough. It's a tough situation. Connect like that. That's gonna put that out there. See, if I had to choose, I think OKC. I think because the natural progression, natural steps, I think they can get to the finals. I do like that. I mean, that squad is. I feel like they'll get even better. Shea, they like playing with each other. Something about chemistry. Their chemistry is amazing. I think what's my guy from Gonzaga, young boy in OKC. What's his name? The big.
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, Holmgren. I think Holmgren's gonna have a better year. I think it's gonna be even better. I think last year was about getting healthy, playing healthy because you missed that whole season. The next following year, you're gonna get the real Chet Holmgren. I think he's gonna be amazing, and he's gonna be the number 2 they really need. Like I feel like he was trying to find his way, but I feel like the number this season he'll be the true number 2. Like it won't be any question. Like he'll be the number 2. And if he takes that step, the step that I think he's gonna make, he takes that step, they're just like we talk about Boston, they're gonna be tough for years to come because Shea already got the confidence. Shea's like him. Yeah. Like Shea is him. Like Shea got that mentality that whereas any given night on the floor, you pray he don't get 40 on you because he's got that ability right now. Because the swag is different because it's not like in your face, you don't like talking trash because it's just a smooth killer. He's a silent killer. but he's got that. You can see the confidence. Like, dude, you ain't seeing me. When you on the court, you can like, you ain't seeing me. Like, you got to triple team me, double team me. Just watch the Mavericks series and just see how they played them. Like, it was just like, dog, we just got to worry about you. You know what I mean? So, but they needed the other dudes to kind of step up. So I just feel like now, I feel like in this upcoming season, you're gonna learn from what you saw against Dallas. Like, you have to learn from that because you know now, yeah, teams are gonna be gunning for me, but I'm gonna need y'all to step up. So y'all got in the summer, y'all gotta be in y'all bag in the summer. And I just feel like Holmgren, he's the type of dude that will be in his bag. Like, he will be in his bag. He'll get better. I just feel like they'll be a tough team. So if I had to like choose a non-Laker team, I'd probably be OKC. I would love to choose Ja. God, I would love to choose Ja. That's my Ja's like my guy. Ja's like my spirit animal in terms of a basketball player. Like, so Ja's like my guy. So I rooted for Ja since college. I hope Ja turns the league upside down. You know what I'm saying? But I hope I could definitely see him getting to, if not the finals, definitely the Western Conference Finals for Ja. If I do it and going to the East, yeah, it's the Celtics. I can't even hate. It's the Celtics. They're more talented. They just have a great roster. But I am going to be interested in the Knicks, though. I just think it's a perfect fit because of egos. They're not going to be egos in that situation. I think that's the most important thing when you're trying to build a champion and you got talented players. Folks will know their roles. Like, Cat ain't like an alpha dude for real. Like, he's like I've always been impressed with Cat's talent. Like, it used to annoy me that he didn't score more. Like, I think Cat is really gifted in terms of his talent. Obviously, everybody knows he's a big man who can really shoot a three. In Kentucky, he could play in the post. I don't know what he's trying to do now, and I don't know what he tries to do when he does in the league. He had a jump hook and everything. And to me, and if you have a jump hook, and with his size, you should be able to get buckets in the league. Like, you have a jump hook, that's you use that shoulder. You got broad shoulders anyway. You can get that shot off anytime you want to, especially in the face-up game. You got a pick and pop game. There's so much you can do, even non-3 in the mid-level to the post, that you could be easily averaging 30. You know what I mean? But his versatility as a as a player for this team, knowing that Brunson's going to have the ball in his hands, he can stretch him out. So now Brunson has room to operate, you know what I'm saying, on the high screen situations where he can just go use the screen and now go one-on-one or get like that mismatch, or high screen, he can pick and pop outside. Him and Brunson can play a great two-man game. Bridges in the corner, that works out because Bridges is a good corner shooter. So there's so many things they have in terms of as their team is built that works out for them offensively. We're going to see how it impacts them defensively, because the players they lost on the defense side of ball is going to hurt a little bit. But I think you got Bridges. The Bridges straps up anyway. Still have Josh Hart off the bench. So they lost Hartenstein, who I think that's going to be a hurt. That's going to hurt them in terms of defending bigs. Oh yeah. So, but the Knicks are very interesting to me. They are. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. I gave you barbershop folks. I gave y'all. See what I did there, Trey? See what I did for you, Trey? I didn't hype the Knicks. I can do that. I can really do that. So who you think? Hey, so I'm gonna start with you, Just. Who you think's gonna be like that? No, first off, I'm gonna start with this way. What's your big storyline for you, Just? Like, what's the thing that you're keen on when it comes to this NBA season?
For me personally,
you personally.
Okay, for me. Me personally, it's the synergy between CP3 and Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, I know. I think that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. That's my storyline for the year. Listen, you know how I am with Chris Paul.
I know you are. I know.
Favorite player in the league. There's no way I could go an episode without
talking about Chris Paul.
Shit. But I'm gonna just keep it light. I'm ready for these fellas. Listen, I think this team is about to shock the world on the lowest of keys. I think the Spurs are gonna shock the world. I think when I say shock the world, I don't know about championship, but still. Yeah. You never know. Crazier things have happened. But do I think playoffs? Absolutely. Chris Paul never misses the playoffs. He only missed it last year because they had him off the bench. Steve Kerr, another hater, like I said, put Chris Paul off the bench. And then, the Warriors season was doomed from the start. But in San Antonio, Chris Paul is back to where he normally is, being a leader, being the orchestrator of the offense, somebody who can really game plan and really be a coach on the floor. And I think he's going to provide that dog. He's going to give the San Antonio Spurs a guy that they can really look up to, ask questions. And they already have some pieces there. I know a lot of people didn't watch the Spurs last year, but a guy like Vassell.
Vassell, yeah, I like him.
Vassell,
I like
right?
him. I like him.
He's going to be one of the most improved players in the league this year. He's one underrated two-guard, average over 20 last year. Keldon Johnson, another underrated guy. He's going to be coming off the bench this year as a 6-man.
That's good. He needs to come off the bench. That's good. He's selfish as I don't know what. He needs to come off the bench.
Yeah, and also now Jeremy Sochan. They tried him last year at the point guard experiment. Yeah. It didn't work out. Now he's back in his natural position at the 4. And of course, last but not least, the progression of Wemby. This guy is about to be a top 3, top 5 MVP candidate for sure, in my opinion. Yes. The numbers are definitely going to be gaudy, but if they get to the playoffs, and I think they could be, go from anywhere from, 4 to 7, in my opinion. I think the Spurs are going to be cooking with something this year. I'll tell you right now. Chris Paul, every one of his teams get better. You know how how they disrespected him? They gave the Spurs a 0.01 chance to get to the playoffs.
For real?
They're going to ESPN. That's what they ranked the Spurs. 0.01 chance, or 1% chance to get to the playoffs.
They got them that low?
Exactly. Disrespect.
They don't really know. So this is my thing. First, let me go. I'm gonna get. Well, yeah. I'll respond to that. Yeah. With the greatness of Wemby, it has to be like, I know it's young. It's early to say this, but the greatness of Wemby is a thing. Like the where this dude is at right now. Like where he's gotten bigger too. Like I don't know if they did that. I didn't see that, but that's what they did. That's dumb as hell, to be honest.
Yeah, 1%.
What he does as a basketball player is like you can't compare it to anything. Like as a defender, to me, he's gonna be defensive player of the year. Like already, I can tell you, he's gonna be.
I think that's a lock. I think that's a lock. He got robbed last year. In my opinion,
he got robbed last year. That's a lock. Yeah. Then adding on to now, he's gonna know how to pick his spots to get buckets. And I said this, and I mentioned about like the players you mentioned, like Johnson and whatever. They were selfish as hell last year with Wemby. Yeah. Like Wemby is your player, and you could tell it was like we're not giving you the ball. Yeah. It was like when LeBron got drafted by Cleveland, Ricky Davis was like, "Nah, I ain't your team, homie. It's my team. I'm not feeding you. No. It's almost like that. Like we're not going. They anoint you as the one. We're not paying attention to that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like that. And it's like they didn't respect the pecking order of what things were. You got Chris Paul now.
Yes, sir.
Like when we about to get buckets, easy buckets. Like he'll get buckets. He ain't got to work for it. Regardless of what you think of Chris Paul is at his age, the mind is still there. The handle's still there. He knows how to get into angles where Wemby's gonna get to his spot. If Wemby's open in his spot, Wemby's gonna get the ball. So he's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a situation where Wemby's waiting there like, oh, give me the ball, It ain't gonna be that situation. He's gonna be an efficient scorer now. And so I just said like, and then Paul's gonna get all those other young dudes that Justin was talking about, opportunities to get shots. I like that one. I do think that the dynamic of having Wemby and Chris Paul together, that duo, and regardless of how it plays out, I mean, Chris Paul's definitely starting, right? Just
yes, absolutely.
He's definitely starting. That works out, like it's gonna be it's a match made in heaven. I'm be real with you. And if you look at Chris Paul's track record, this is what he does with young players all the time. Everywhere he goes, like everywhere he goes, he does this with young players. Everywhere. Okay, when he went to OKC. He did that over there. When they thought, you're just gonna go OKC, we're not gonna worry about that team. Look what he did look what he did with those young players. He's gonna do the same thing here in San Antonio. So for you, B, what's your storyline though? You want to jump on this conversation, or you want to talk about?
Oh no. Look, I got a couple of them, man. Number one, Paul George in Philly. Can he be that last piece to help them go over the top, man? I mean, Embiid, he gonna be playing back-to-backs now. Tyrese Maxey's emerged as a legitimate star, man. Can PG be that last piece? Looking at Sacramento, same thing with DeMar DeRozan. Can he be that last piece? Because there are a couple of sleeper teams too that can really, really make some noise in their respective conferences, man. So to me, Sacramento and Philly.
Sacramento. I like Sacramento. I think just know I like Sacramento. I like Fox. I like Monk. You know my man Monk. Too. I like Monk. You know I like Monk. You know Monk, my guy. The West is so tough. Like it is so tough because all right. So we talk about players who don't get respect. De'Aaron Fox is a dude who doesn't get respect. He don't get flowers. Yeah. And that it annoys me because it's not like he's like a regular point guard. He a point guard that is clutch as hell and is a dude that in the fourth quarter, like a guard period in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes, he goes ham. And it's an efficient ham. It ain't like he a selfish ham. It's an efficient ham. It's like it clicks. It's on some real talk, not to like overhype him, but it's on some all-time great type of player type thing. Like if you really watch him play, how he takes over like the 5 minutes of a game is insane. Like it's insane when he's going. So like, but saying all that, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll be wishing that Sabonis could play with a little bit more mental toughness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like absolutely. I feel like, and I like Sabonis a lot, so I'm not like knocking. I like Sabonis a lot, but I do feel like they can go as far as Sabonis is ready to take him. You know what I mean? Like in terms of his mental toughness, because like you watch him when they play Golden State in the postseason, how they just left him open and how that messed with his mind. Forget the rough play with Draymond, but just when they left him open, you know what I mean? And he would like hesitate on taking those shots. I'm like, all right, man, like they need you. You know, they need you. And because you got Fox and you got Monk and then you got Murray, you got all these other dudes on their team, like who are ready for the moment, but they need their big dog because you know, word is he's the leader. They need their big dog to come out there and show out so they can put him over the hump. Because they got, if you look at the talent, they got the talent to do really special things, especially adding DeMar. Like that's a mid-range assassin who I feel like a lot of teams need that type of player, but it's up to him though. You want to say something, Jess? I could tell.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I can tell you're gonna talk. I can tell, Jess. I can tell. I've had you on my show a long enough.
My brain was clicking.
I can see it, dog. I can see it in your eyes, dog. I see it.
Yeah, my fault.
No, it's good though, Josh. It's good. That's why every time I got shut up, like, Wally, shut the hell up.
No. I wasn't saying that at all. I was actually going to piggyback on what you were saying. That's really what it was.
No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say you're right about DeMar DeRozan. To me, DeRozan is the key, in my opinion, because when I look at that team, when I look at DeMar DeRozan, my thing is DeRozan going to be happy in Sacramento? Because my thing is, that was never his first choice or second choice or probably even third choice, if we're being honest. They were the only team that was willing to pay him after that. So he like, all right, it's in California anyway. But if he actually like commits to the Kings and you know, finds happiness somewhere in Sacramento off the court, because I think that's the key, because we know he wanted to be in LA. But if he can find like a happy medium in between, like, all right, I'm not in LA, but I can make this work for me. And if he commits, you know, mentally to the team, the Kings, I think the Kings are going to be very formidable, because if you look at it, you brought up the clutch scoring. DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox are two of the best clutch scorers in the league.
Yes.
Two of the best. They were top three for the past 2-3 years, these two. So you have literally two of the top 5 clutch players on your lineup at the end of the game. And then you got Malik Monk, the dog, DAWG.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Come on, these boys are ready. I think the Sacramento Kings are slept on team, and most importantly, they have a great home court advantage.
Yes.
So those home games, exactly, right? When those home games, they're gonna win a lot of games at home. So that's already 41 games right there. So if they have, you know, if they go 35 and whatever at home, you don't have to win as many games on the road, and that could really propel you in the West to like a top 3 seed. Now the Kings are a top 3 seed with that home court. They got something going. I like the Kings, man. They are absolutely making the playoffs, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Keegan Murray too, another guy to look at.
Murray's good,
Murray, man.
They just have
better in another year. Yep.
Yeah, it's just they got a bit. They got what you want. They really do. It's just it's tough. Like that, it's just tough. Like you're right about DeRozan though. I want to see how it works. You know what I mean? Like, and how Mike Brown gets him.
Brown's a solid coach.
Yeah, a solid coach. He's a good coach. Sure. How Mike Brown gets him acclimated to what they do offensively, because you know, it's going to be interesting. But to your point though, especially down the stretch where you need a bucket. You got two dudes that you got. No, it's crazy because you got two dudes who definitely are. You know the stats for how they are in that fourth quarter. Yeah, but then you got dudes who ain't scared of the moment. Like you mentioned Monk. I know, like I'm high on Monk, but you got a dude that's not scared of the moment as a role player in Monk.
Monk is clutch though too.
He's clutch. Yeah, he's not scared of the moment. You got dudes who like aren't. Yeah, to your point. But it's what you need in playoff time. You need folks who ain't scared of the moment.
Look at the numbers. DeRozan could get you 25. Fox could get you 25. Sabonis could get you 18 to 20. Monk could get you 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray could get you 10 to 15, 10 to 17. Yeah. Like, come on. That's 100
scoring,
right
man.
there. Easy.
Nasty.
They score. They score, man. It's wild because scoring has never been their problem. It's just, I don't know, something about like
They were too young. That's what it was.
Yeah,
They
that's what
needed
it
that.
is. I know.
They needed that small forward, and they
Yeah,
got him. Like DeRozan
yeah,
could play 3 or 4. I think him and Keegan Murray are going to be interchangeable.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Kings are solid. They're slept on.
They're definitely slept on. They definitely slept on. I do like I'll go back to a team like Memphis. I think there's a storyline. It's the Ja situation because everybody forgot how great Ja. I feel like people forget how great Ja is now.
Come on,
Oh,
they
yeah.
do.
I do. They forget, and I think Josh and Edie. Like I'm really that's my thing. I want to see Josh and Edie play. I mean, Ja and Edie play together. I want to see how how it works. Edie hasn't been deemed like when he came out the draft. Folks are like, well, he's not the traditional big that in today's NBA, right? The big that we're used to seeing guys who are a little more athletic, or they're guys who can shoot the three nowadays or whatever. But he's like supposed to be the traditional big of back in the day. But I kind of think it works for this situation because you got Ja. Like you got Ja. It's different. Like you got Ja. Like who cares about that? Like he can make Edie better. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel like that's going to work out for Just? How do you feel like that's going to work, Edie and Ja? Like that.
I think that pairing is going to be seamless. I think it's going to be seamless because you know why? Zach Edey's going to step right into the role that Steven Adams left.
True.
They already have the blueprint for Zach Edey. That's why I think it's going to work perfectly. They know an exact role. Most important, they even have tape. Do exactly what Steven Adams did for us when we were a great team. And that's all he really has to do. Just be a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. And you can see, one thing in the NBA, you can't teach size.
Yes,
and Zach Edey has that.
I agree.
The size. You've seen him in the preseason. He's still dominating grown men. He's the size of a grown man.
Facts.
He's not the size of a kid. So I think he's going to fit in there seamlessly. But the key is Triple J, because I saw on Twitter that he already is going to miss the season opener. Yeah, so, I mean, they're already having injury problems already. So health for the Grizzlies is going to be, more than important.
I agree. So what about
they can use some more pieces on that bench too.
They do. Like they're real light. They're a little light.
Yeah.
So what about you? What about you? What do you think about the B? What about you? What do you think about the Edie Ja collab?
Ooh, it's gonna be a pick and roll disaster. They're gonna mess people up, man. I mean, that combination, like you both said, man. Edie is slept on. He was a guy that I liked out of the draft, man. Here's the thing: not every center has to be the modern day center. I mean, sometimes you roll with them. Look, Mitchell Robinson has made his money and he's a traditional guy. So you can be a traditional center and still strive in today's NBA, man. I mean, yes, it's a perimeter-driven league, but look, you can still be that traditional guy. So Zach Edey was that guy that I liked. I like Donovan Clingan, man. He was a guy that I liked because we needed more size at the center position, man. So, look, the NBA is the type of league, man, where it changes all the time. I mean, if you look at the NBA in the 90s, totally, it changes. So what's the fad now may not be the fad in 10 years, man. You know what I mean? Right now, it's a perimeter-driven league. But like I said, it was an offensive league for a while, too. And now it's going to become more and more a defensive league. So.
No, I'm with you. So I'm actually
Brandon. Let me throw on that Brandon real quick. Right? Who do you think will have the better rookie season, Zach Edey or Alex Sarr?
Oh, I can't say.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna say Zach Edey because the situation he's in. He is more pro ready. I mean, look at his surrounding cast. I mean, John Morant, the list goes on. He's in a better situation where Alex Sarr, it's a very young rebuilding team, and there's going to be a lot of responsibility on him. And he's raw. I mean, you look at Zach Edey. He played college. So he was. If you look at the level of competition, man, he's more pro ready. Now, if you look at Alex Sarr, nothing against that Australian Basketball League, but it's not known to be really a league that gets guys ready for the NBA. Guys are usually developmental guys. So, I definitely give it to Zach Edey.
No, do you think the numbers will be better? Also, the numbers.
I think the numbers are going to be kind of even because if you add the shooting ability of Alex Sarr, I think that's what really gets.
I think he may have more opportunities. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
is it about opportunities? Yes, Sarr. I mean, is it possible he could have more opportunities?
So this is the reason why. This is the reason why I think it'll be Edey, and because it's the Ja effect. I'm gonna be real with you. The point guard, you're predicated on the guard. You're not predicated on. They're not running. They're not gonna run a ton of isos for the center. So what's gonna happen is like Ja's gonna set up Edey for like you talk about you talked about it. Just like you got the blueprint with Steven Adams. But Edey's a more offensively gifted. He's more offensively gifted than Steven Adams. He's gonna get those buckets, those easy buckets around the basket that Sarr won't get with Jordan Poole running the one. No knock on whatever. It is what it is. It's like we just talked about Chris Paul. It's like playing with Chris Paul or not playing with Chris Paul. How many easy buckets is Wemby gonna get because of Chris Paul? Well, like Ja is not a gunning. Folks don't who don't watch basketball, let me school you who Ja really is. Some of y'all don't know who Ja is. Ja ain't a gunner. All right, Ja ain't a gunner. He scores because he feels like he needs to score sometimes. He's not a gunner. Ja prefers to pass the ball. So if Edie's open on the on the lob or open on for easy lay, Edie's going to get the ball in those positions, and it'll be easy buckets because teams will be worried more about Ja. So I think Edie's going to average more buckets than Sarr, and get more tests because of that. That's all. Ain't no not, and I feel like Sarr would better be. I mean, if Sarr had, even though I think he's the better player, if Sarr had in the Wizards situation, if Sarr had Ja, I think Sarr could probably get more points than Edie.
Oh yeah,
possible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's because of who you play with, and I say that saying Edie is the better offensive player, but I just think that because you're playing with a guy who's going to get you easier buckets.
Absolutely.
I would say that Sarr could probably score more than Edie if he had Ja.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we talking about Jordan Poole, bro. Look who's getting you the ball.
I don't know why. I still don't know why he's at the one. I don't know why.
That's what I'm saying. Look who getting you the ball. That's what it is, bro. So, like we talked about rookies. So I'm gonna start with you, Just. Who you think will be rookie of the year, bro?
Oh, Zach Edey for me.
So you Edey? Okay, so you already.
Yeah, I definitely think. I think he might even average a double as a rookie. You know what I mean? I think he could win the rookie of the year with 14 and 10 and a block or two. I think he can win the rookie of the year with that. 14 and 10, a block or two. Grizzlies are third seed in the West. I think that could get Zach Edey the rookie of the year. But I think all the rookies, their numbers will be very similar. I don't think there's going to be a standout rookie like how Wemby and Chet was last year. Averaging 20 and 10. I think it's going to be a rookie averaging 14 and 10 or 15 and 5 or something like that, because everyone could contribute in their own different ways. And I think team success may play a role in this rookie of the year race.
Oh yeah.
Very good point.
Because there isn't any standout outlier. I think rookie of the year is going to be one of the deciding factors. So I think, to me, I would go Edey, and I think he will win.
Okay, I like Edey. I like Edey too. No, I do. I root for the college kids too. What about you, B? What do you who do you have Edey? Is that your thought?
Yeah, I like Edey, man, but I'm gonna switch it up, man, because I'm a University of Kentucky guy, man. Reed Shepherd, easy. I think Reed Shepherd, man.
He's
a dog, man.
I do.
He's
like
a dog.
DAWG. He's one of those.
Like Reed. Got it. I like Reed a lot. I'm gonna see as well. For me, I'm gonna go another Kentucky dude because I like this boy. I like Dillingham a lot.
Okay.
I like him a lot. I think Minnesota got so lucky.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping San Antonio kept him. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, dang, I could just kept him. But I think he is so. I think that's another. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I mean, obviously you're gonna be playing with Mike Conley. It's gonna be hard for him to actually do it. But I just hope if he can get burned. Like, truth be told, I do think Edey gonna do it, but if I had to go different, it'd be Dillingham. It would be. I just think that what he can do, he can create his own shot, which is very essential in today's NBA. He can create his own shot, and he's gonna play with space. If he gets the opportunity, say that Conley gets hurt or whatever, or whatnot, he gets some more. If he's featured a little bit more, you're playing with Anthony Edwards, so they're not gonna be keen on you. So you're gonna get some good matchups 1-on-1. So I just think he's a guy that, with his skill set, sky's the limit, man. He's like, I'm waiting for him to I'm waiting for them to. I wish they would trade Mike Conley. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish they would trade him, but I understand the importance. You're building a championship team, so you don't trade a player like Mike Conley. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I'm not going. But then my low key would be probably Dalton Connect if he gets to start. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude is just Connect just.
West Side Connect.
Yeah, that boy, he dangerous. He dangerous. That boy dangerous. Dangerous. That boy dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he ain't gonna start though. That's the only problem. I understand, he ain't gonna start. But if he could start,
I swear, man, the Lakers always know how to find a talented white guy to put on.
I know. Hey, he a savage too.
Always
one, dog. He a savage too. But Reeves had to work to be this. This dude is already built as a savage.
Oh yeah, y'all got two now on the road.
Yeah, dog, we killing it. We marking everything, bro. We got urban America right now. We got suburban. We working the system, bro.
Oh wait, let me ask you fellas this, because I've been asking everybody that I'm talking to, right, before we get on out of here.
I got you.
Bronny James, right? Over under 10 games for Bronny James this season. What's y'all thoughts?
Under.
You got him over 10 or under 10?
Under.
Under. B, what about you? What you got?
I'm gonna say over, man. And the reason for that is the reasons we already seen. The power that his father has. I mean, look at the contract he's gotten compared to other rookies at the same skill level, if not above, man. He's gonna give him that exposure because I mean, it's a lot of decisions for LeBron. Look, I mean, I believe his contract goes through next year, but eventually, look, Bronny's gonna be in the league by himself. So he's gonna set him up and he's gonna put him in a position where he's gonna be able to carry himself by himself in the league, man. And because look, outside of the Ball brothers, there hasn't been many young guys coming to the league with a targeting back like Bronny, man. And like I said, and you can argue that, to a certain degree, it's not really on him because his dad is, whatnot, but he's got to perform nevertheless. I mean, that name brings a lot of weight with it. So all eyes going to be on Bronny. People are already talking about, him dropping 17 points and, he's
You don't watch basketball. Problem, man. You don't watch basketball, man. It bothers me, man. Like, no, I'll be real. It bothers me because, like one, where he was drafted at, like you're right, the contract thing is what you really can't debate. Like that's what it is. But like where he got drafted at is like, because Gil says it all the time. I totally agree with him. Like, dude, he's like 55, the 55th pick. No one cares about the 55th pick. Like he's like, that's why I'm like if this is why I get mad at LeBron. I don't get mad. I'm mad at LeBron. Like, stop setting your kid up for failure if you keep doing all. If you're really showing your power to this extent, like at the end of the day, bro, like. He should give him some work in the G League. You know what I'm saying? Like because you're not. If you look at the Lakers roster for what it is, real talking, if you watch Bronny play, dog. If he gets more burn than Cam Reddish, there's a problem in life.
Oh, he might be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he might get more. But if he gets more burn than Cam, that's a problem because he's not better than Cam Reddish by far. It's not even close. Like he's not even close to Cam Reddish's ability at all. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, all right, like going. But I've heard like arguments of why you maybe not want him in the G League, and I get it. But if you want to sit on the bench, let them sit on the bench. But all that other stuff, like playing on the basketball court, because you're putting him. He's a guard, so he's gonna have to check Ja Morant, Tyrese Halliburton.
There you go.
All the best players in the league, Trae Young, the best players in the league. Are guards, are point guards for real. And they got the ball in his hand. So you're telling me that he can line up against those dudes? Dude, he can't even line up against Dillingham and who's on the bench. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like this is what it is. So when I look, so that's why I say if they're trying to be fair to him, and if Ron is trying to be fair to his son, don't set him up. That's all I'm saying. Don't set him up.
He don't care. LeBron don't care.
Hey man, look, LeBron.
Listen, LeBron wants to showcase Bronny. He can
showcase his son all he wants. But he can have him sit. His son is an influencer. Just have him sit on the bench. Let him chant his name. The last 2 minutes of the game, he can go ahead and play. Look, man. Look. My man Giannis had his brother on the squad chilling. Just give him 2 minutes at the end of the game, bro.
Yeah. He's happy with those 2 minutes.
He's happy with those 2 minutes. Man. Bronny be happy with your 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's gonna be funny because listen, I think all jokes aside though, Bronny, in order for him to be effective in the league this season, he's gonna have to be a defensive menace. In order for him to be effective. But can he do that? Like, who is he really going to shut down? Like you said, Ja Morant, he plays. Steph Curry plays at his position. Well, Chris Paul at his position. Trae Young at his position. Yeah. All of these guys at his position that are not afraid of no Bronny James. They literally saw him as a pup. Yeah. All of these guys have seen him. So they're looking at him like, I'm about to school you right now. So I don't know if Bronny could really be that defensive menace that he needs to be if he was able – for him, in order for him to get those minutes. But I do think he's going to play probably over 20. I'm going to say the reason I think 20 spot minutes, 20 spot games.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the position that makes it tough for him to get minutes like that, in my opinion. I just feel like it's because who you match up against on a week-to-week, on a night-to-night basis. That's the problem. Like I said, like if you look on every NBA roster, there's a point guard that can get you buckets. I clown Jordan Poole. Like Jordan Poole can probably get him buckets, though. Like there's a point guard in every – like Jalen Ivey, who I love with the Pistons, will give him buckets, in my opinion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there are guys that folks don't even think about, but you watch their college, you remember in college or whatever, you'll say like, oh, that he nasty. Like, oh yeah, I don't know. Like there's a vicious guard that gets you work every night. We're not even the ones that that are all-stars. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
so when I look at Bron, I'm like, yo, like that's just the wrong position to say, yo, yeah, you getting burned like that for real. And maybe LeBron hustles it. You know what I'm saying? His son is like getting showcased and featured. That's fine. I mean, just don't ruin my team in the process. Like, and LeBron, I'm for you, man. I'm a LeBron supporter. I've been surprised. I support LeBron in Cleveland, so I support you, LeBron. But when it comes to when you came to the Lakers, though, it's a different animal. We don't do charity. All right, we don't do charity usually, and the only reason why we going this far because for an old dude, you still been hooping, but it can go but so far, bro. Like if your son come out here and ruin a chance, and we lose to the Nuggets again, I don't need you. I don't need you and your son on my team no more. If it gotta be a package deal, you can go because I ain't losing to the Nuggets again. That's all I'm saying. I ain't losing to the Nuggets again. But before we end this show out, folks, hey, I'm gonna start with you, B. How can folks catch you on social media and catch your content, bro?
Man, you can catch me laughing and crying over there, Locked On Wizards, man. It's gonna be a long year, but look, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun this year, man. We're gonna have fun this year. I do some Commanders content over there to Washington Football, man. So definitely check that out, man. We're definitely gonna be smiling with my man Jaden Daniels, man. That dude's he's for real. I mean, we got Marcus Mariota. I'm telling you, man. So definitely appreciate y'all, man.
I ain't saying nothing about Marcus Mariota. He played well. He played well. He surprised me. How can hey, Jess, how can folks catch your content, catch you on social media, my man?
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_503, and you also, I don't remember if that's on my Twitter or my Instagram, whatever, but just type in Above the Rim Podcast, you'll find the show. Check me out every week or so. I do episodes. Got my boy Wole on all the time. B, I gotta bring you up on there, my man.
Yes,
we gotta talk some Wizards over there too. And yeah, man, just catch me out here in these streets, man. Let me know, man. And the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, dog,
dog, bro.
brother.
Dog. His mom look all right too, though. But that's a whole different conversation. Just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, I appreciate y'all for being on, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Take it easy, man. I'm gonna take a nap after I close this joint out because I'm tired. Actually, I got another show to do too after this too. Wow.
Man.
All right, y'all, man. Take it easy, man.
All right, fellas, take it easy, man. Have a good one.
Take it easy. Oh man, awesome dudes, man. Awesome dudes. Let me knock my thing up. Hold on. Look at me now. Look at me. Look at me. Great show, man. Good talking basketball. I got my Lakers. Hopefully, we can kind of do some damage, but probably won't get to the championship. Nah, I know what we will. We will. I believe in Dalton Connect. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we do some things. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I actually got another. We're gonna have another show. We're gonna Ravens pregame show because the Ravens played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we'll be back on in about an hour, actually. So make sure you pull up for that as well. But before then, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, also TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also you can like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. If you're on YouTube right now, you have not subscribed to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel, please hit that red subscribe button and also like this video. All right, and also check out the home of the Urban Sports Scene, which is www.urbansportscene.com. Anyway, folks, thank you. Thanks again for tuning in. I want to thank Just and my man B for being on. Just from the Above the Rim podcast, and B from Locked On Wizards podcast. Appreciate them for being on. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene. But I just Yidig Deuces. Your boy Wole is out.
Peace.